What's up, guys? Welcome back to Man Cave Collectibles, coming at you today with another figure review. So today I want to take a look at the newest offering from Neca, part of their cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. This is the Splinter versus Baxter 2-pack. So this is another highly anticipated release from Neca, pretty much as all the Neca TMNT cartoon figures are. One promising thing that we saw with this release is at my local Target, there were about 10 of these on the shelf. If you don't follow my Instagram account and you do have an Instagram, go ahead and check me out. Give a follow to my Instagram account. You'll be able to see what I'm out and about, what I'm finding on the shelves, as well as some different pictures of things in my collection randomly here and there. But I posted a picture yesterday really showing about 9 or 10 of these boxes on the shelves at my local Target. And this is really even a Target that I don't typically find the cartoon TMNT stuff. So that was very promising. I've seen a lot of pictures of other toy hunters out there who've been able to find like the Krang Deluxe package. And they have pictures where there's 8 or 10 of those on the shelves. So maybe Neca is heading in the right direction as far as the distribution of these cartoon figures. It's taken them some time, obviously, as you know, for the longest time it seems like most Targets would get 2 or 3 of these at a time, which, you know, would just be gone long before those of us collectors trying to get out and find them could get our hands on them. So if they're finally starting to get to where, you know, they're sending cases of these figures and these 2-packs to these stores, it's really going to make the collecting side of this so much less stressful and so much more fun for most of us. So I hope this is something we continue to see in the future from Neca. Let's go ahead and jump right on into our 2-pack. So we've got our typical window packaging here that we get with Neca 2-packs. We can pretty much see everything that they come with, the figures themselves, the accessories all inside. Got some real nice cartoon images here of the 2 characters, that TMNT logoing there. Same on the top. Product image of Splinter. Product images of both here on the back, as well as some of the other offerings that have come out here recently. All of these are excellent offerings. Xerax and Zork, Trag and Granitor, and then our Triceraton Infantryman, as well as Roadkill Rodney. I do have reviews on all of these up on the channel, so if you're interested, check those out. Baxter product image, back to the front. Let's go ahead and break these guys out of their packaging. Let's see what we got. Alright guys, so we got Splinter and Baxter out of their packaging, and let me just say, I think Neca gets the award for cutest 2-pack of the year. These guys they're adorable. I hate to use those words here in our adult collecting world, but yeah, I mean, look at this guy here. I mean, he's just so cute. So happy to have both of these characters in my Neca cartoon collection. Let's go into accessories. Now we have a lot of them, so bear with me here as we kind of run through what each of them come with. So we'll go through Splinters first. So the first thing here is we have kind of the book that I guess was the inspiration behind the names that he gave each of the turtles. So this is pretty cool. It is just kind of molded this way, so you're not able to open and close it, but I think it's a really cool addition. Little art book there. And just you know, just a hard plastic, so kind of the way you see it here laid open is you know, the way it's going to be, but I think it looks really nice. Next up we have just a closed book, and there's probably some significance behind this particular book. I just can't remember it, so I got a couple accessories here that I could use your guys' help down in the comments below. So if you can remember the significance of this particular book, you know, go ahead and drop that in the comments. But it looks really nice. It's kind of worn and tattered. Got some holes here in the cover. The spine's a little dented and dinged up, but looks good. You can't open this one. It does just hold this specific form right here. Next up, we've got the scroll with some kind of hieroglyphic style writing in it. Some of the, you know, C, B, some of it looks like, you know, our alphabet, and some of it doesn't, but looks good here. Just kind of molded this way. You're not able to really change it or do anything with it, but looks cool. Again, just something, if you remember or recognize this from the show, go ahead and drop that in the comments down below. Now, Splinter also comes with a sword, which looks really, really nice. Got some good paint here on the handle, a little bit of red accent here on the handle of it. Got a little bit of design work here on the hilt area. Painted in gray. Got some black accent coloring here, just to kind of give it some definition there. And it comes with a flame effect, so that just slides right down over the sword, just like that. Now I feel like I remember this from the show. I just don't remember what the significance of it was. So again, just let me know. I seem to have a little more trouble with some of the Splinter accessories than I do the Baxter ones. I do remember the Baxter ones a little more from watching the show. So again, if you know where this is from, let me know. But it's just a hard plastic, kind of translucent orange. Looks really good. And the sword also looks really good. Splinter also comes with this little guy here. Painted really well. You can see the tail's painted, the arms here are painted, the feet are painted there, if you can see that. Kind of a purplish color to them. Got whiskers, mouth is painted there. We got some red on the inside, the teeth are painted white. And then the eyes. This guy looks really, really good. Really like this. No articulation to this guy. You know, he would just, sit just like that. So he looks really nice. You can see there scale-wise as well with Splinter. We also got the kind of yin and yang medallion here, necklace charm. Looks good. That'll just hang right over Splinter's neck. This is kind of like a cloth material here, so I don't think it's not going to have any issues with it breaking or anything like that. And then the medallion just hanging there on it. Looks really nice. Then we have the pistol here, and if I remember correctly, they had to use this pistol to turn folks back into their original form. Baxter has a gun that we'll look at here shortly where he can turn things into hamsters or gerbils or flies or whatever he wants to turn them into, and I think they had to use this. It seems like maybe they used this gun here when Splinter got turned into a human. This gun played some role in it. So again, you can clarify that in the comments for me here, because Splinter didn't really use a gun, but I think that maybe that episode they had to use this gun to kind of counteract something Baxter was doing. And then probably the most important accessory for all of us as collectors is his staff. This is his iconic staff. He pretty much had this through the whole series. Looks really, really nice. Very nice wooden detail. Has some black accenting to it, just to kind of give it some nice detail. Looks good. You can see the height of it there is perfect, right just above his waist. So that'll fit very nicely in his hand. Then we have kind of a slew of additional hands here, which I'll throw up on the screen for you. We've got a couple holding hands, a couple almost like, I guess, karate or ninja hands, like he's kind of ready to make some kind of ninja move. And then the hands that he kind of has on his body there are kind of a semi-open hand that, you make it hold something in those if you needed to. And then lastly here, we received a large kind of mat, like what you would imagine Splinter would do his meditation on, or that he would come in and the turtles could sit around him as he kind of offers some wise words. Now this is not paper, but it also is not a very durable feeling material. It feels like it could tear very easy to me, but it's fairly large. You can see there, if I just kind of put it right up behind the two characters, you can see the scale of it. You could easily fit, especially standing, Splinter and the four turtles on that. So that's a nice little addition as well from Neca. Now let's move on into Baxter's accessories. So we've got the plant here, and if I remember correctly, I want to say this was maybe called like the Doku plant and was sent to April. Seems like maybe it knocked her out or almost killed her even. But this is a really, really nice little addition here. It's very well painted. It's got the flowers there and the petals. It looks excellent. Flower pot is painted in purple. Looks really, really good. Very nice. The most important accessory probably that we have for Baxter is his ray gun. So this is what changes characters into other animals. So you can see here it's got some nice detail. Looks like maybe a donkey, a cat, a fly, a rabbit, turtle, some type of little insect. So he can change this and move this around. Now this doesn't spin or turn, so there's no articulation to it. But you can see this gun just really has some nice detail on it all the way around. Nice paint work by Neca. So just a very nice accessory, kind of a must-have for Baxter, as that being kind of his most important accessory. Now we also received his computer, and I don't remember the name of this guy, but I remember him. He does kind of have a lenticular screen though, so you can see how those eyes can move back and forth, and he can kind of change expression from angry to happy to confused. So that's pretty cool there. The paint work is really nice on it here all the way around. You can see that. It looks really, really good. They did a good job on this. It does have a spot for a peg, like a peg hole down here, kind of a, you know, I don't know where this, if this is something that's going to tie in later, maybe something they're coming out with, some type of dio, or maybe even if it's linked to the diorama that we're going to be receiving later in 2021. I'm not sure, we'll see. Then we've got Mikey turned into a gerbil here. So this is pretty awesome. I love how they've been kind of throwing in these small characters like the pizza monster, baby shredder. Now we've got Mikey as a gerbil. I think these are just fantastic little accessories that they're throwing in for us. It's painted okay, a little sloppy on the paintwork for this guy, but not too bad. We get the gist of where they're going with it, and I appreciate it. Looks really nice. And then another really cool accessory is our fly shredder. So look at those eyes. There you can see his helmet. He's got his little pauldrons there on his shoulder. They're not sculpted extremely well, but I mean, on something so small, how can we expect much different? He's got his cape here, his purple cape on his back, and those wings. This is awesome. Probably one of my favorite accessories. You can tell it doesn't take much to please me, but this is really, really cool right here. Have to figure out a nice way to display that guy in the cartoon setup that I have. Maybe even some real lightweight fishing line in order to display him. And then Baxter comes with a couple additional hands as well, not quite as many as Splinter, but he does have two hands for the left and the right to hold his pistol, as well as a couple semi-open hands, and he comes with what we see on him here, which are his fist hands. So that is it for accessories. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a closer look at each one of these figures. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at our Master Splinter figure right first off. So taking an up-close look here at that head sculpt. Looks really, really nice. It did a fantastic job here on the eyes. The fur, we kind of transitioned from kind of a lighter fur into a darker fur as we move toward the back. Looks really nice. They've done that a lot here in the cartoon series. I think it looks good. And moving around here, we've got those teeth there. We can slightly see inside that mouth. They got some pink paint inside there. Looks good. Got a real nice, is this called a Komodo or whatever we call this thing that he's got on him here. Looking under, it's just, his basic body, kind of what you would imagine there. It looks good though. It's fully sculpted, painted. Looks really, really nice. We can see here this articulation. He's got kind of 2 points of articulation in the neck. So we'll go ahead and talk about articulation, I guess, here as we're doing this. I want to be very careful, and I want to advise you guys as well to be very careful. These are smaller figures than we're typically used to. These joints are smaller. Everything about them is smaller. You can look here at the arms and knees of Baxter. So be very careful articulating these guys. I'm not going to do a full articulation on them. It's pretty standard here for Neca, but we'll kind of talk about it as we go down through it. But he does have these 2 points of articulation. One here right below kind of the jaw and bottom of the skull, and then another one here right at the base of the neck and where the chest meets. So that can flex up, down, side to side. So it looks really good. So that kind of replaces, an ab crunch, I guess you could say. However, he does have a joint here which can go side to side. It just doesn't have very much crunch in it. So he's very articulated. I like what they've done here, but again, I would just be very careful with both of these guys being on the smaller side. You know, heat those joints up. If that's something you're used to doing, then you already know the deal. But that can definitely save you from a frustrating, you know, situation down the line. We can get those arms out to about right here, and he does have double jointed elbows in there, and then kind of your standard wrist articulation there with the 360. But yeah, real nice detail on this. It's a nice cloth that you know, feels very durable, feels very nice. Paint works very good all the way up and down. We got those double jointed knees here, and then the kind of his standard articulation here, forward, back, a little bit of an ankle rocker on both those. But you can see here that the wraps that he uses here on his ankles look really, really nice. They're painted well. Feet look nice. No paint on the toes or the toenails, but that's okay. Then we got his tail here. So this tail is a bendy wire, which is really nice. So you can kind of mold and change that to your liking. You can see how that is connected there underneath, so you can articulate it up and down, and then again, you know, you can kind of, you know, bendy wire that how you want it. So it looks really good. I think that's a nice touch. I always love bendy wire in our figures. Just gives us more posability options for our characters. All right, so that's it for Master Splinter. Let's bring up the cutest figure of 2020. We've got our Baxter Stockman figure. So he's so small compared to like the Super 7, and we'll do a comparison here. I'll bring their Super 7 counterparts in here shortly, and we'll take a look at that. But yeah, just a really, really good job on this face. The paint work is phenomenal. They really just nailed all the details of what we would consider being Baxter from the cartoon. He's got his bow tie there underneath. You can see there that articulation there in the head. We can get it up and down and around. A little tight. As I said, these, you know, Neca can always be pretty tight out of the box. Looking really good here. We kind of transition from a white to a gray here on the sleeves. Again, as we said, we're seeing a lot of that type of paint work on the cartoon line. Same thing as we move down to the pants. We're transitioning from a light gray into kind of a darker gray. And then he's got those bare feet there that we would kind of come to expect. Moving around to the back, you can see here where those fly arms have kind of popped through his vest, as well as the wings here. The wings are articulated, so you're able to articulate those backwards and forwards. You can spin them around in a full 360, and the same for the additional arms here. They are articulated back and forth, kind of on a hinge joint, and you can move them around kind of as you wish. So really, really nice detail on these. He does have a swivel here and a little bit of an ab crunch under there. Not a ton, but the crunch is there. And then he has his double jointed knees there as well. The ankle articulation is slightly hindered by the pants, because that is a hard plastic there for the pants. So you're going to be slightly hindered, but it does come up just enough to where you're able to still articulate those ankles around some. All right. So yeah, just a fantastic offering here from Neca. Let's go ahead and we're going to bring in a few additional figures for size comparison for you guys and wrap up our video. All right, guys, and just to give you a little bit of size comparison here, I've brought in their Super 7 counterparts, who are also phenomenal figures, but this really goes to show you just how different the two lines are, and how I think it's very acceptable to collect both lines, as I do. I want to collect both, as one kind of, you know, caters toward the toy, kind of reminiscent of the toy side, and one caters to the cartoon side. So very different, but you can see here size comparison. The Neca is a 6-inch scale, so they're going to be smaller, where the Super 7 is a 7-inch scale. But there are the comparisons for the two kind of, in my opinion, the two premier lines of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collectibles. Let me throw in a couple more of the cartoon figures here for size comparison. Alright guys, and then here we go. We got our Ninja Turtle, Donatello, and then a Rocksteady to kind of give you the feel for a little bit of a bigger figure and how they'll scale. So these are two of the smaller figures that we have received, maybe the smallest from a actual main character standpoint, they are the smallest. Outside of, like the Baby Shredder, those types of things, accessories. But from a actual figure standpoint, these are our two smallest figures, Baxter being smaller than Splinter. But man, just a phenomenal addition to our cartoon line. If you haven't found these guys yet, get out. They are really hitting everywhere. And as I said earlier in the video, it appears Neca is starting to really get the distribution under control and make sure the collectors have an easier path to trying to find these figures. Let me know if you found them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Hit that like button if you would. It really helps out the channel. It helps get these videos shared for the rest of the YouTube community to be able to see. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. Love to have you as part of the Man Cave Collectibles team. We do regular content here on the channel, and we kind of do a little bit of everything in the collector world. So definitely check out my other TMNT cartoon reviews, as well as Super 7. We got the Thundercats from Super 7 as well, statues, omnibus. We kind of hit it all. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time.